Hi, I'd like to welcome you to this IEP meeting. Before we get started and get into the IEP, I'd like to first talk with you about some of your rights and procedures. So we're going to start off with your procedural rights under the IDEA. Your procedural rights are just some safeguards put up for you and your child. They include the right to participate in all meetings, to examine all educational records, and to obtain an individual educational evaluator if you don't agree with our assessments. You also have the right to prior written notice when the school proposes a change or refuses to change your child's identification, evaluation, or placement. You also, I'm sorry, your participation is also key in this. You know your child best. You've been with your child the longest. We definitely value your input and would love for you to tell us what you would like in your child's IEP, what you feel like that needs to be in there the most. That's greatly appreciated. I like to let you know about some of your confidentiality rights, informed consent, FERPA. So, we do need parental consent before we do anything. There is the family educational rights and privacy, as I stated, FERPA, that protects the confidentiality of your child's records and rights to access those records. Sorry. There are additional confidentiality and protections under this. To access it, you would have to submit a FERPA request to the school, and the school would have set 45 days to respond to this request to access documents. You also have a prior written request that you can submit if the school or the district wants to make or refuses to make in your child's IEP. It is important for you to understand what the school plans to do, and when a prior written notice is made, it must give you information, and the information you need to actively make a decision about your child's educational program and services. You also have the right to, as I stated earlier, an independent educational evaluator. That is, if you don't agree with your child's evaluation, then you can have an evaluator that is non-partial to the school, dependent on the circumstances. Either the school will pay or you would have to pay. You may have to go through a due process to have the school pay, depending on certain circumstances. But you can have one to evaluate your child if you do not agree with the schools. You also have the right to stay put, which is literally your child can stay put in their current IEP placement if the school gives you a prior written notice to have your child's placement changed and you feel your child needs to stay put. So the stay put can only be invoked if you disagree in writing a proposed action explained, and if you file a request for mediation or due process hearing before the proposed start date of the written notice. You also have dispute resolution options. They are a process by which you can resolve disagreements with with the school on your child's education. This allows you to come to a consensus and solutions to help the child. So it starts off with an IEP meeting, then you can have a mediation with a third party, the IEP resolution, and you can have a due process hearing and maybe civil action, but you do have that option. Those are, some of your rights and options that you may not have known. Just wanted to let you know. So we can start the meeting now.